All right, guys. So, how do you actually price your amazing, irresistible, best in the space offer now? So, I gave some numbers before, but realistically, there's people at different stages. So, let's see how you price your offer and what stage, whether you're been in the game and you're just looking for a better offer and easy switch, or if you're completely new at this, new agency owner, where should you start? So, if you're completely new at this or you're switching over to this offer for the first time, you don't really understand it, recommend you get started about like $500. Now, what are your objectives when you run this for the first couple of weeks, right? We want you to get better. We want you to actually get better at marketing, get better at appointment setting, whatever it is. We just want you to get better and understand the space, your service, your offer. Get some like testimonials, right? Get some good work. If you don't have good work, spend some time to get good at your work so they can give good work. Get those testimonials and make a low barrier entry. My recommendation, if you really, really, really are new and you don't care about money, it's always better to just do no setup fee and just performance, or even then, like don't even ask them for anything. Just you cover the ad spend and be a testimonial. And there you go. Now, realistically, you don't need to do that. So many people will give you just 500 and not even think about it twice or look at their bank account again, especially if they're like business owners. Um, so like let's say after 2 to 4 weeks, right? You've been experimenting a little bit. You have your $500 setup fee. You got in a couple guys. You're understanding everything. It's looking good. Your close rate's like above 10%. You're like chilling at 15%. Appointments are flowing, and you feel like now you're getting some clients, and you want to start making a little bit more bang for your buck. So once you're at like the 5K per month mark, this is where I recommend you do up it a little bit. Now you can honestly go straight to a 2K if you want to do like 1,000, What I do recommend you do is, after like every 1 to 3, like three-ish clients, you up it by 500. So you do like a 1,000, and then after another three clients, like another 1,500, then another three, you do 2K, and you just rinse and repeat that. But what we really want to happen is to ensure that the closing rate does not drop below 10% and we don't take a big hit on that. Or you might start, encountering different objections. Maybe a price objection did not become a problem until you hit 1K. Maybe before it was like a trust issue, but now it's not a trust issue, but maybe it's like price, right? Who are we targeting? Like, we just need to know this stuff and make sure we're doing this carefully, slowly, tracking all your data, and where you understand what's going on. Now, you just keep rinse and repeating this, honestly. Um, just do it. That's what we did. That's what our clients do. Some guys, we start off at 500. Majority, we don't, just because we know what we're good at and everything. But realistically, in your position, start at 500, keep doing it. 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K. Like, we have some guys here doing insane amounts. We have one guy doing 15K setup fees after just rinse and repeating the process. Um, the sky really is the limit as long as your industry has the money for it and it makes sense, obviously. You need to bring that value there. Um, so here's an example of what you can kind of do. You have some options. So you have your setup fee, you got that down, but now what about the other back ends, right? The performance, the results, the revenue share, profit share, whatever it may be. Now, we like to make sure all our clients do something like this as well. You can either charge a percent or a fixed fee. Now, which one do you choose? It depends. You want to make sure it's easy to track, but I also want to make sure it's profitable to you. Here's some examples, right? You do like a 2K setup fee with 15% of revenue, either that you bring in or just general revenue. Like, lots of people will give you just general revenue. That's what we do as well. um, Now, of course, we're like switching that up and everything. Lots of our clients do that. Depends on kind of what industry you're in. As long as it makes sense, that's all you need. As long as there's profit to your actual client, it doesn't really matter. Now, you can also do a 2K setup fee or 1K per close. Now, which one are you going to make more of? Right? Maybe in the solar industry, you're going to make a lot more revenue and percentage than you will off actual close, but their profit margins are so low, they might not actually be willing to do that, but they're willing to do the per close 1K. That's perfectly okay. Maybe in another industry, like in digital marketing space, whatever it is, you have tons of people rolling on like 100%, 95% profit margins. So they don't care at all about 15% of the revenue. And they don't mind that at all. So it really depends on who your target is, your ICP, your ideal client profile, and who you guys are trying to get. Now, there's another thing to this. I'll kind of walk you through here. Now, you also want to make sure you're listening to your client, not just asking them to be qualified and whatnot. Like, yeah, you want to ask them questions if they're qualified, if they have the money for it, but also logistically for you, how you could profit off of them the most. Now, I have two companies here for you. Company one, very good at sales. They can be like a roofing company, 30% close rate. And personally, I would want them on a pay-per close rather than something like a pay-per lead, pay-per appointment, pay-per showing appointment, whatever it is. I get something in for them from a close because they are proven to be really good at closing, and you'll make more money off of that. So, for example, say one close will give you 1K in terms of your revenue share, your profit share, your fixed fee share, whatever you get from them. Three closes will get you 3K from them. So I just want to be spitting out like an offer of like, hey, 2K setup fee plus 1K per roof installation or whatever it may be, solar installation, client, whatever. Company number two, though, is where you need to think a little bit, kind of know your industry and kind of the skill set of who you're talking with. Company number two, bad at sales. Same exact offer and service as company one, same exact thing, but their sales team is just terrible, right? They have a 5 to 10% closing rate. Firstly, for them, I don't want to pay per appointment or show an appointment, whichever one you want to do. Show an appointment, probably want to pay a little bit more expensive, maybe like $300 instead of $100. Um, but say just a general appointment that's put on their closer's calendar. One appointment being worth 100 paid out to you guys. Doesn't matter if they close them or not. You guys get $100. You did your job. They're okay with it. They want that. Or that would equivalent to 30 appointments, bringing like 3K. And 30 appointments is not hard, guys. I know lots of you guys right now are struggling with appointments, most likely. All of our clients get over 100 appointments every single month, if not more than that. Our clients get more than 100 appointments just using the same methods we use. Um, is very highly realistic. 30 appointments per month is a bad month. That's only one appointment per day. Um, but that would be 3K right there. Now, I'd rather, toss company two, that pay per appointment thing, because if you run them that pay per close, you're not going to be making any money, or you will, but it'd be way less because it's just not as good as closing. But if you gave them that appointment offer, you would make more money. Potentially even more money than company one. But I think company one would know that and would not want that and rather work with you on a, pay close. That's where industry knowledge really comes in handy. Make sure if you are going down the industry, you understand what it is, what you do, how to get appointments, how to make sure to show up, how to get closes, sales teams, like whatever. The more knowledge you have in industry, the better. The more negotiation tactics your way, and it's just a very powerful tactic. I hope that helped you guys, pricing your offer, whatever it is. Just remember, if you can, start very little, just grow over time, and just keep track, very important, of your KPIs and metrics throughout the entire process. We want to be making sure that your cash collected per call is as best as it could possibly be, right? If you find out that you're actually making more money off 1.5K setup fees than 2K setup fees, just from looking at the data, I would go to 1.5K and then fix some things around until you can, do something else. Maybe that's just meant you weren't ready for 2K yet. Um, most of the time, the data does show the higher you spend, more cash collected you'll get on average per call per month. So you always want to rinse and repeat and just keep scaling up your setup fees, or scale up the back end part, which is typically more receptive to clients.